Hey there, viewers. Thanks for stopping by. So here is an update on my Mercury Thunderbolt 550 horsepower engine. I finally got it out. Went ahead and started it up. At the last time that I did that was a few months back, and I'll talk about it, how I've been pretty busy and I kind of let things get away from me, but I had an issue with my carburetor, and I thought it was fuel related. I went ahead and cleaned them, and I think I even swapped out a carburetor from a carburetor that I knew was a good carburetor. So in the video you're going to see, I pulled the engine out and I, started it up, and I could get it to run in idle, and I adjusted the carburetors, both of them, so they'd idle out better. And it idled, but it didn't seem like it was firing right, or I wasn't sure about that. The timing, I think it was firing in time. I didn't get the timing light out with the front plate because I was trying to adjust the carburetor so that it'd run. So possibly maybe would be out, but in the garage when I tested it, it was firing exactly where it should be firing. So I was under the assumption the timing is correct and it's firing exactly when it should be. So I get it in the driveway, I fire it up, I get it to idle, but once you open up the carburetors, like you would open up and, how do I say this, in wide open throttle, or not wide open throttle, but you're just opening up the throttle. The engine itself is going to advance time along with that throttle, and basically as soon as I did that, I would die. So I guess I'm sort of a little bit of a guessing game, because then I took my timing light to make sure that they were all firing, and they were. All four were firing, and at idle, at least. But it would run very rough, and I didn't have the controls set up and hooked up, and so a couple times, well, let's just say when it would jump from park to forward, and I would have to adjust it back to neutral. That was a problem too, but this shouldn't have affected my wide open throttle, because it was in forward, it was idling in forward, a little low, I think, but as soon as you opened up your throttle, it would immediately die. So do I think it's a fuel problem? No, because the carburetors, when I adjusted them, both carburetors adjusted, and you could hear the engine. You could hear that adjustment. Is there enough coming out of the carburetors? That's another question I have. I'm not sure. But I suspected a switch box or the distributor is my thoughts, because as soon as it went to you know, as soon as you open up the throttle, then you know, you're also moving the distributor. So my theory is that either the distributor, the coil that I put in, is not bad, but I tested it, so now I'm gonna have to go back and retest it. Could be the distributor, the field is not strong enough. Possibility. You know, the magnets are old, so they could possibly be not giving out the magnetic field that it needs. I had another switch box. I swapped out the switch boxes and I got no fire on my first switch box, or the switch box I swapped. So I swapped them back, and then I made the mistake of thinking, well, if it's not getting power back out of that circuit, you know, maybe I just connected to the alternator. That was a big mistake, because I did fry that one. I fried that switch box for sure. So now I got to get a switch box. Yeah, bummer. So, you know, I need to kind of check the coil. So this may be like a, you know, a bench kind of situation where I can rig up something on the switch and see if it's firing correctly. Or I need to find another distributor. Now I do have another distributor, but it's sort of piecemealed, and I guess I could pull this one out, check it, you know, maybe even swap some things and see if, you know, I don't know. Gonna have to check out the distributor for sure. My parts one, I've got a broken, there's a plate that goes on, and then there's the rotor, and then there's where the distributor cap where the wires come out. Well, the plate before the rotor is broken, and then where the wires come out of that one is broken. So could be, you know, rotor, I suppose. I've got a video of it running. But what I wanted to show, if I can get in as far as I can, I detached the audio. And with that, and this is sort of like a scope in a way. But you can see, let me make sure I got a good shot. You can see, like, so if we count these, how to do this and hold this steady. So we got this one, and it looked like it double fired. So let's say 1, 2 is a pretty good gap from where that fired. And we got another fire point. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They all look pretty good compression wise because they're all at this map level. So then we got 1, and you can see it double fired here again. And then you got 2, 3, 4. So, and then you go downstream and you can just see that's not a good fire. This one's certainly not a good fire. here, you know, it's should just be a steady got another switch box, I could try that, I guess. Because I'm not sure. Seems like it's the high side, which should give it some fuel. It's going to die out. So it's either super weak coil or a switch box. Woo, it's smoky. Anyway, so much for that. Alright, I put a new switch box on it. And adjusted the primary pickup a little bit. Also put the ground wire on the switch box. See if that helps. Now it's not on there real good, but it runs, so. Yeah, I wasn't sure about the switch box. So, I don't know. See if it's even firing. Yeah, it's not even firing. So, yeah, I think that switch box is bad. Well, I don't know. Let's try this again. Put the old switch box back on. Maybe my ground. I don't know, I'm not sure. To be honest, so, but we'll see what happens. That's definitely better.
I used to